Hello folks, and welcome to Risk of Rain. This is a game I've played quite a bit actually, and I actually recorded some footage of it ages ago, 2015. And I've actually also recorded a bit of Starbound back then as well. To celebrate me finally getting to this, I am going to also be releasing that old video. I actually made two at the time, one with my audio and one without it, in case you just want to listen to the music during that last bit. Quite regrettably, the audio level on this is not the most preferable of things. When I'm doing the audio test, I can slowly work off what's in the options menu, and this is the best I can work off it. It goes in 10%, and the only way lower than that, as you probably gathered if you can do basic maths, is 0. So there'll be points where you won't be able to hear me, especially if I do things where I plan on doing them. Now, you may be thinking, because you played this so much, you should have plenty of completed. You may notice I don't. That's because, well, two things. The saves didn't transfer from games to game, from Mac to Windows, and I'm using my GOG version rather than my Steam version, so even if they did, I wouldn't see them here. So there's all these items that you can unlock. You start off with some basic stuff, and then you unlock the rest. Some of the stuff that I can't unlock yet. They require particular characters to unlock. Others are just simply kill a certain boss, gain so much money, fail shrine 3 times in a row. There's some gambling things you can do. Reach so much health, this kind of thing. When you unlock an item, you get a bit of lore. With monsters, when you kill enough, well, when you kill one, you get a chance of them dropping a book, as they say here. Small chance of dropping. Monster log entries have a small chance of dropping whenever you kill an enemy. They're kind of rare. Again, I played a ton of the game and I didn't get them all. In the footage that I'll be releasing with this, I explain it in there, but I woke up one night, it was like 12 PM, and I wasn't really in the mood to record. So, to pass the time, I sat down and I played Risk of Rain. And I did stop on and off to playing, but then it was like 6 PM, 9 PM that night. And 12 AM, you know, I've been playing it for like nearly a day, on and off. I did take breaks, but I'd been playing it, that one thing, for a good while. A good few hours. I had... so I decided to record the last bit of it, because of how ridiculous it was. The game was slowing down quite incredibly. Even though the video went on for like a half an hour, the timer wouldn't have gone up for very much on it. I never kept track of it, but the timer was always quite frozen, basically, because of just the sheer amount of enemies on screen. When you play the game, there's generic enemies, then there's bosses. Due to the difficulty I was getting, I wasn't fighting. I think there might have been a few generic enemies, but there was tons of bosses. Particularly one type, giant jellyfish. But they were just like all over me. But I was so well geared, it didn't really matter as long as I kept running. And I actually had all but one of the special things on. Let me show you. See these here? These are artifacts. I vaguely remember how to get each and every one. They changed the game substantially. When I was doing the auto test, I was trying a thing that I would do with the artifacts on. It does not work if you don't have the artifacts on. Basically, when you start go into a level, you start off with nothing. No, you have like your default abilities here, but you don't have any equipment beyond those. Like, you get items that I showed you. You don't start off with any of those, so you have to find them in the world. But with the artifacts, you have very little help. Well, one of the artifacts do very little help, but do incredible damage. So you can just gun straight for the boss, kill the boss and all the enemies spawn with them, buy what you want, then go on to the next level. As long as you are careful, you'll be fine. And if you pick the best class, this one, the engineer. They're my favorite. Once I unlock them, that's the one I'm playing. I do like this guy, but he's not as awesome as the engineer. Engineer is awesome because he can just run away and be dropping mines and sending off missiles that heat seek. The commando, and I don't know about any of the others, but they beyond him, I don't know of any others that can do that, and he can only do that if he kills an enemy. The engineer can just do that passively, just by default. This one I don't recognize in the slightest. I swear they're new. But anyway, 3 difficulty modes. Drizzle, reduce difficulty for players new to the game. Weeping and gnashing is replaced by laughter and tickles. Progress is not saved in this mode. I also remember TB doing a video on this. He was saying risk of rain. It's clearly not set in England because, oh, there wouldn't be a risk now, would there? I'm not sure if that was quite his phrasing, but I remember making a joke along those lines. Same here in Ireland, basically. I remember hearing that when the Romans invaded England, they wouldn't go any further. Like, they wouldn't go invade Ireland. Our weather was too shit for them. Which kind of actually makes some degree of sense. Like, the Romans, they are in the Mediterranean. You know? They're used to much warmer climates, less shit climates. It's no surprise. It's surprising they went to England to begin with. You know? I also remember one of my Horrible Histories books saying that the reason Vikings like invading England was the weather was slightly better there. They had a little comic, I remember, and it was like the rain in Viking land, and it was like so much rain, and then the England was like it was missing a couple, like the picture again, but missing a couple raindrops. The way the game is meant to be played, test your abilities and skills against formidable foes. Monsoon. For hardcore players, every bend introduces pain and horrors of the planet. You will die. I completed all artifacts bar the final one on Monsoon difficulty. The reason I didn't have the final one was because you have to do it with the rest to unlock it. And that's something I'll be doing in this series. You can see the end if you want. You can see the other video. Actually, maybe I'll release that video as an extra after I finish this video, because I was showing at the very end of the game in that one. So yeah, let's get into it, because I probably spent the first episode nattering on. I might release 2 when this comes out, 1 and 1A, or well, maybe let's just call 1 and 2. Because less of a dick that way. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's give it a try. So unlike what I was saying I'll be doing in the other mode, in this mode we will have to be going after items. But in the top right corner you can see the difficulty. The difficulty depends on how much time you spend there. Spend long enough time, things will get getting quite ridiculous. You face bosses constantly, that kind of thing. Bosses, like I was saying, bosses become much more frequent. Enemies in general get much more difficult. You can find special enemies. I kind of, the way I said special there implied, the euphemistic special. No, nothing of the sort. They have special abilities, like when they walk, they leave fire on the ground, that kind of thing. Lovely stuff like that. For those curious, the controls are for the abilities are Z, X, C, and D, in that order. I'll take the knife. Chance to bleed on hit. You can stack items, by the way. So if you get 2 of those, you get a bigger chance. You can also get the thing of what's it called? See there, the red that's bleeding. It's it's a thing of rope. Barbed wire fencing. Barbed wire. That's it. You can find barbed wire, and the more barbed wire you have, the bigger an aura of pain is. And I remember reading, if you get like a few hundred bits of that barbed wire, you can cover the map in it. So all enemies, just by virtue of coming onto the screen, will take damage from you. What's this? Summoned imps holding a reward. Oh, that's a timed bastard. Yeah, no. Not right now. I've only the knife. And I'm not the engineer. This is the canon character, the commando. Actually, you never got to see the intro cutscene, did you? I'll show it to you in a moment when I first die. See the enemy with the interesting health bar? That's the first special enemy we're facing. Damn it, I misangled my attack. There we go. Actually, quite tempted to going to show you the cutscene now, but I would actually have to exit the game, and I want to die first, you know? You know what? Let's summon the boss and run there, run to get items as we're fleeing for our lives. It's a whole lot more interesting, you know? It beats a kick in the teeth. You know, like good as many tendrils to the teeth. Yes, yes it is. We're fighting the jellyfish. Health. Ow. Mortar. When we fire, we have a chance to launch a mortar. Nice. I think I did multiple bleeds on it for a moment there. Roll. Launch. Thank you. Don't mind if I do. Going this way. I basically now when I level up, I have a chance to drop a war banner that, if I stay around it, will give me improved stats in some capacity that I don't quite remember. Yeah, also, yes, there is fall damage in this game. I believe there's an item you can get to neutralize it, but I don't have it yet. Nice. Damn it, I did not mean to come this way. Oh, Christ. When you do the dodge roll, you are made invulnerable to damage for a short time. Also, I still think maybe I did this too early. I'm not fully prepared. Then again... Oh, Christ. Then again... What was I going to say? Then again, the selection of items you have at the very start is shit. So, I was going to have difficulty no matter what way I did it. I have no idea what's with the thing above my head. Since it's new, I figure it must be related to the glasses in some capacity. Okay, brilliant, got a kill. There's also the bar under my health bar. That's the level up bar. As you level up, you get more health, do more damage, and whatnot. I think it's health and damage, really. This, unlike the normal enemies, the boss doesn't do contact damage, which is really nice. It would be probably pretty damn hard to actually win if it did. Though the boss is an utter git, and is a bitch to actually hit with, mortars. I keep mistargeting my abilities. I'm just too flustered. It's been ages since I played this game. I want to say years, like since I've recorded the other vid I mentioned, but I'm not sure. There we go. And now this has a chance to fire a missile. The blast back they talk about, it doesn't exist. Fire. See, there's the missile. Very handy, especially when you stack it up and if you have a good few attacks going on, because then you have an improved chance of it going off. Oh, see that green fiery guy? Utter bastard. You will learn to hate them. You'll learn to hate them with all your fury. Now it's... You know... Oh, there's our first log. I was gonna make a joke there, but part of me feels awkward about making it. With all the hate that the Jewish people as a whole must feel for Hitler. Yes, that is how much you will learn to hate that enemy. Because, my God, are they assholes. I just remember having some amount of difficulty actually fighting them before. Because, oh, goddamn. Also, you notice the arrow, it's pointing out me, it's telling me basically where the enemy is. And actually, as you noticed, the war banner heals me in its presence. 3 hit points, yes, but heals nonetheless. Also, the maps are randomized. I believe there's a few different starting zones. Well, there's like 2 different zones. I can't actually remember. There's a few different zones you can go through. There's like 5 levels to the game. And, like, you can go to... I know for the 3rd zone... For first zone, I think it's always here, but there's different versions of here. Then for the... Oh, nice. Then there's different versions of here. But then for the... second place, there's 2 versions. 2 different places to go to. 3rd place, same. 4th place, there's 1. But its place is randomized a bit. Then the last place is always the same. So 5 places. And we got this one. This one has a artifact on it. Actually, no, the first place, there is 2 first places as well. Okay. See this here? This is actually something you can break. But the only way for me to break it is by triggering, for this character to break it, is by triggering a mortar right on it. Other characters, and you know, for it to actually make impact. Move. Other characters can actually destroy it more easily, like the engineer. Oh hail the Omniscience. But this guy, not so much. Okay. Ooh, that was hidden. But actually, correction, there is a way for this guy to easily do it, but I don't have the item at present. But as you see there, there's a little hidden place down below. You have to blow up the little bit of rock I showed you previously to access it. Christ. So many special enemies. It's just, I think in general they're burlier and whatnot. And I hate these guys. Don't even know what they're doing, but god damn they irritate me. Back off. Back off. Thank you. Was that so much? So much to ask. Christ. Move. Fuck. Okay. Hop. I just remember, you know those guys down there? They have special forms, and my god are they assholes. I just remember having such amount of difficulty with them. They are not nice inside. I also expect most of my commentary for this series to just be a lot of me giving out and grumbling, because it's the kind of thing that this game elicits in me. Ow. Feck. Come on. Ancient Wisp.